Avant-Garage show, December 7th, 2020. Today we got Yvng Vadr, first official guest on the show. December 7th, 2020, Avant-Garage show. Today we got Yvng Vadr. He's a artist, promoter, dad, idea machine, and one of my best friends in music.
Hell yeah, how's it going?
So, I just kind of want to start off the show just saying, you're pretty into music, I'd say.
Oh, absolutely. I think that I think that music has kind of been there every step of my life, every kind of stepping stone, every peak and valley. It's kind of been there whether I was creating music or not. It's kind of been there to help me kind of carry on, and make it to the next step.
So let's go back to some of your earliest memories with music. Where were you when you first got your first CD or whatever up until now?
So like something that I've tried to hide for the longest time, dude, is my first concert was NSYNC. Yeah, dude, I was 4 years old, I think, and yeah, that was like the shit back then. And hey, at least I can say I've seen JT live.
Okay.
Even if he was doing some fucking puppet dances and shit, dude. But yeah, no, growing up, fuck, dude, my whole childhood has pretty much been like bathed in Rage Against the Machine, Tool, Disturbed, and Korn. I think those are probably like the big four when it came to heavy music and shit growing up.
Okay.
Any hip hop and rap and underground rap and stuff like that would have been like Cottonmouth Kings or Cypress Hill, NWA, fucking Beastie Boys, shit like that. You know what I mean?
So Yvng Vadr and I actually go pretty far back in freshman year of high school, I think.
Yeah, 2010, 10 years, dude.
And I remember we had talked before, but like when we really first connected, I specifically remember this was I had walked into Miss Kinney's class in freshman year.
English, yeah.
And I was bumping Job for a Cowboy through my headphones, and you could hear it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But yeah, that's when like deathcore was like getting pretty big, and a lot of guys were into that.
Yeah, I feel like deathcore was definitely getting near its peak. I haven't listened to much new deathcore recently, but I do feel like it was near its peak at that point. You had Suicide Silence going pretty strong, Chelsea Grin, fucking Lorna Shore. You had fucking you look at metalcore and shit. You had like Devil Wears Prada and fucking Winds of Plague and shit. We had a lot of fucking heavy ass music to listen to, and it's a lot of my influences.
Yeah, and right after we graduated too was when I hit you up on Facebook and I saw you had your band that you were working on. Why don't you say something about that?
Yeah. So was it trying to think? It was Ortega, right?
Ortega was after.
Okay, so it was prior. It was a band that didn't have a name.
I think so.
Yeah. So so shit. We were talking about. I was looking to start like a metalcore, like a progressive metalcore band. I was really into Born of Osiris and Volumes at the time. Yeah, I remember I got some people together and fucking Carmine reached out and asked if we had a bassist, and yes, we had already we already had a guitarist, a bassist, and I think a drummer. And I was like, but I'm looking at to try to get some keyboard like synthesizer breakdowns. So he fucking learned. He started learning how to play keyboards and shit. And I feel like it's funny. And out of all the people in high school, I never expected you to be the person I hung out with the most. But it's funny. I think it was at that point I realized, okay, this is someone who's so fucking passionate about music that he's willing to learn a completely new instrument so that he can be part of this, you know. And then the next band came, Ortega, and we had a bassist still, but we needed a guitarist, so he got a guitar and he learned guitar to be in the band. And then that came and went, you know. And then we got this band together called No Man's Vessel, and finally Carmine got to play bass. He got to do what he was fucking meant. Honestly, I think that's what he was put on this fucking earth to do is play bass. You gotta fucking see that shit. It's unfucking real.
Bass is definitely my natural habitat when it comes to instrumentation.
Oh yeah.
So when you got into the horrorcore rap type stuff, who was the artist that really kind of made you want to do that?
Shit. So at that point, I was almost like, fuck, dude. I hate to say it, dude, but I was almost like I fucking couldn't stand like mainstream hip hop and rap, and I had never listened to anybody like fucking really anybody at all, dude. I'd never listened to any of that shit, and I'm not saying it's shit, just saying like any of it, but yeah, no. I remember I had listened to a couple early Suicide Boys tracks and a couple early like Jay Green tracks, some Bones shit, and my uncle had shown it to me. He had kind of exposed me to all of the heavier music I had listened to in my life, and then darker music and shit. And I remember listening to all this deathcore, and then all of a sudden he was listening to all this other music, and I was like, dude, I thought we were always listening to this shit. What's going on? And he's like, you gotta check these guys out. He's like 6 years older than me. He's like an older brother, and fucking I remember listening to him and thinking, wow, these guys are incorporating like a lot of the same lyrical content and stuff. They're doing something that I don't have to rely on an entire group to do. You know what I mean? They just rely on themselves.
Yeah.
And to me, that was really inspiring, seeing all these artists kind of doing their own thing, you know, and bringing their styles to a genre that fuck, I don't think was necessarily ready for all the shit that they brought, dude. I mean, and it's definitely all taken off in several different directions, dude. But
yeah, I remember that time I was I think my first memory getting kind of introduced to that music was we were at that party that you got in a fight at Jess's house.
Yeah, the 21st birthday, that Halloween party, dude.
Yeah, I was gone before that, but I remember you were showing me like a bunch of the Suicide Boys and Ghost.
She let me DJ, dude.
I had never heard any of this before, and I was like, this is different. Like, when was this? Like 2014, maybe 2015.
It was literally right after it was like right after high school. It was either late 2014. So it was late 2015, I guess, because it was October. She was gonna turn 21, and Yeah, no, I was the really, really drunk dude that had the aux, you know? And, fuck, dude, I just, it was literally a playlist full of Bone, Suicide Boys, Ghost Main.
And then after that,
Schema Posse and shit.
we went to a Suicide Boys show together in Los Angeles, and that was a memory.
That was fucking unreal. Yeah, so we fucking cruised out. I picked up a buddy in Orange County who I hadn't seen since we were fucking like 10 or 11 years old. And we cruised through to pick him up. After we had one of my buddies meet us out there, and I met some of my family. I met my uncle and my aunt and shit out there. we cruised through. There was like 4 of us or 5 of us, and yeah, we fucking went to that show. Everybody was way too fucked up, I think, to be kind of doing their own shit,
just
dude.
people fighting each other left and right.
It was just
you and I are just looking at each other like, what's going on?
I was like, where the fuck did all the people go that we came here with? Like, one of them's literally standing in the middle of the pit, like banging on his chest, telling people to come and fight him. And then Thomas comes out of nowhere, and like anybody that does step to him, like Thomas just fucks him up. I was like, holy shit, dude, this is just fucking insane, dude. And it was like the most. It's weird, like. It was the most bare bones show, I feel like, as far as like there was no supporting acts. They had Shake Will.
It was just Suicide Boys, like,
and it was just 2 screens that had flames, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing else, but it was fucking insane, and I remember seeing that and thinking, dude, these guys are fucking throwing the craziest fucking show with like minimal fucking aesthetic, and it was just their performance.
To do that with like no warm up, to like no opening act, to like hype it up, like they just came out and fucking killed it.
Yeah, people were fucking ready for that, and I'm ready to get back to shows like that. Dude. I'm so fucking hyped, man.
So, when you started recording, how did that go for you? Very first time recording.
Fuck, dude, not very good. I think I actually started recording. The first time I ever tried recording, I think, was at your place. Or you had come over to my place, and I had my Aston Origin, and I had just gotten an interface, and
I remember you had your little you had like the blanket set up for the soundproofing.
And I was thinking, like, dude, now I'm literally just stepping into a fucking closet, dude, and I'm like, fuck that shit. But no, I remember being fucking not liking anything that I was fucking recording, dude. I just felt super fucking uncomfortable with all that shit. That's one thing that I really had to overcome. Like, when I finally started recording on my own, and I was recording, I don't know if everybody knows this shit, but like my shit's recorded on a fucking iPad, dude. Like, I use my iPad mic. Don't fucking let circumstances and fucking you know, like you know what I mean, like fucking things need to be prioritized and shit. You can't just be going and spending all your money on all the best recording equipment and shit, you know. And people fall on hard times and shit. So like, don't let that shit discourage you from like following through and like doing the shit that you fucking love. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, eventually, you'll need to take that next step up. But right now, all my shit's done through GarageBand on a fucking
same.
Yeah, on an iPad, and Hollow Bones. He masters a lot of my shit, dude. And I've been blessed with an abundance of great fucking producers that love to work with me.
So, how's your process for recording nowadays? Like, what's your start to finish like?
Shit. So, it kind of varies. I just realized I don't think I really answered that last question very well, but fucking yeah, it kind of varies. Like, I can have a song that's been in the process for a while, you know. And one thing I don't really like to do, just because I like it all to be done in one set, like, I don't like to come back to tracks.
Yeah.
Recently, I've had to realize sometimes you have to come back to a song, you know, and try to approach it differently, or try to approach the second verse differently.
I think I have that problem myself. I feel like I have to finish one song at a time.
Yeah, well, I feel like I need to do it all in one sitting.
Yeah.
I feel like coming back to it a different day or something, I'm just not.
You lose the motivation for it.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm not going to be in the proper mindset. You know what I mean? Like the same mindset I was going into it originally. So, I mean, the last few tracks I've done have literally been probably from beginning of writing to the end of recording about an hour.
Got a big ass truck coming by right now. We're recording outside Vader's apartment window.
But yeah, no. We're it's my beginning to end probably about an hour. managed to just kind of get in the zone. You know what I mean? Like I go through peaks and lows though of wanting to record a bunch of shit. Like I feel like lately I've been kind of in the groove of recording, but I know that at some point it's gonna fucking come to a halt, dude, just because psychologically I feel like I get inside of my own head with that shit. You know, I feel like a lot of artists struggle with that, but yeah, no, I fucking will just, I get into the mindset that I want to record. I'll go and slap those fucking headphones on, you know, and just get to it, dude.
Speaking of headphones, what's your setup like?
So as of right now, dude, it was some Audio Technicas that were broken, but Hollow Bones came through, dude.
Are those them right there?
Yeah, with some fucking I don't even know what brand headphones they are, but they're fucking badass. they're M Cubics or something, and then an iPad. I don't even know what version of an iPad is, but and then whatever GarageBand is on it. That's my setup currently.
That's all you need, folks. It's just an iPad and GarageBand, and you're set to go.
Right now, if I had my PC and shit set up, I do have an extra mic and shit. I actually have an Aston Origin again. I do have an M Audio interface and shit, but I don't have my PCs down, and I'm not gonna fucking let that stop me from making music. Not even fucking close.
So we share a birthday, November 17th.
Fuck yeah, we do.
And back in 2019, we had originally I was throwing a show for my birthday because I was playing in a band, No Ego, at the time. And Yvng Vadr wanted to hop on the lineup, and this was our first time throwing a show, like, ever, let alone throwing a party in general.
Fucking so many people, dude.
And it was the gnarliest day. We had so many people just like getting crazy, and it was the first live performance of Yvng Vadr.
Yeah. I had literally ran through. I had a private playlist on SoundCloud. I had just put all my tracks together the night before and ran through my set list in his garage. It was like 27 minutes or something. It was 11 tracks or something straight, and no breaks or anything. And I remember thinking, okay, dude, the only other time I've ever performed anything in front of anybody was I did karaoke one time at a bar. And I was like, shit, okay, here we go.
Karaoke's
I have
always the best.
terrible social anxiety, and I'm about to fucking do this. And yeah, no, the next day I fucking showed up, and it was an honor to be able to open the fucking show. You know, and people actually enjoyed it, dude. It was fucking sick. Dude.
Yeah, and I remember too, because we weren't talking too much at that time. Like, we were still like sharing music with each other and shit.
Exactly.
But
well, yeah, because we had kind of tried. We had worked on and off. Like, we had been.
Yeah.
After high school, we had been closer at certain points. Like, you know what I mean, throughout our musical experience.
And I had listened to a couple of your earlier tracks, and like, just being honest, you know, they were early tracks. I mean, I had the same thing, but when I first saw you like go on, I was like, holy shit, like it was this fun. Dude's like getting better, and like his stage presence is like top tier.
Dude, so eventually I'm gonna let people hear my earliest tracks, dude. But like my first track's called It's About Time, and it's like it was all shit that I self-produced because I didn't know any producers at that time, dude. It was like my first 4 or 5 tracks. It took me 4 or 5 songs before I had a producer from the Ukraine, dude. His name at the time was like Aesthetic Supply, and then he went by Clout Vision. But he ended up taking a chance on me, dude, and I dropped the whole project with him. That's privated as well.
Yeah.
And shit, after that, Young Terp hit me up, and it was kind of history after that, dude. I had my collective entity and then introduced to Freebase.
I remember Entity. That was a while back.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was kind of a fucking... Just kind of history from that point on, dude.
Yeah, and then we recently just had another show, November 7th, that you performed with Goth.
Yeah, so that was fucking a trip. Me and Carmine drove down to LAX the day prior to pick Kmart Goth up from the fucking airport. We had never met him. I had never fucking met him. I'd been making music with him for about 7 months prior. Started making music with him in like March or April. And yeah, I found him off a repost, dude. So that's another thing I'm gonna say right now.
That's where you found him, off repost?
I found him off a repost.
Off a repost.
Off of a
okay.
repost. Yeah. He fucking and I'm not knocking repost exchange. That does definitely help artists, especially
definitely.
getting into the algorithm and finding similar artists to work with. But definitely, whenever it comes to investing money and shit into your music, dude, purchasing repost and shit can really fucking help you out, even if it's not a ton of fans and it's not necessarily just for streams. It's to find some like-minded artists and shit. And often I don't know Jeffrey repost. Normally, I'm gonna be honest, dude. Normally, as soon as like that artist that I'm listening to shit's not on, I'll skip it.
Yeah.
But I was away from the phone and I heard it. It was either Last Laugh or Quarantine, and I was like, holy shit, this is sick. So I went back and I found out who it was, and I listened to a couple more of his tracks. I hit him up, and he wanted me to hop on his track Takeout that was already out. I already fucked with the track, and we dropped that track, and we've been making music nonstop pretty much ever since. Got to meet him at the show. We fucking performed, and then literally the following day went and dropped him off at the airport, and fucking, yeah, that was it.
That was an awesome experience, too. He's such a cool dude. We plan to have Kmart Goth on the show at some point.
Shout out fucking Lil Zave, too. Shout out Stizzy. Shout out Yvng Vadr, Honey Jack Smooth. Shout out fucking Dead Novas. Shout out fucking... Fuck, who else was there?
Cuddies.
Oh, and the Cuddies. Yeah, shout out all those motherfuckers, dude. They fucking showed up. They fucking put out. They fuck shit up, dude.
Yeah, they did.
All the time, dude.
All right, I think we're going to go to a break right now. I kind of want to take a second to... go through some of Vadr's more, some of the tracks he likes to listen to on his daily drive, and maybe some stuff that you've never heard before. And we'll be right back.
Hell yeah. This next track is When the Coast's Clear by Kmart Goth and myself. It's definitely one for the fucking books. Hope y'all enjoy it.
It's a fire, your shit must be flame retardant. But you left the beast starving like children in the gardens. Don't you dare get me started, leave you like dearly departed. Put fire love inside your body, put you face down in the carpet. Bangs, they skip that shit, they slack ties on they whip. They slit, they flat. Bangs, they skip that shit, they slack ties on they whip. They slit, they flat. 3 dudes, 1 hammer, only take 2 to tango. No, you not my fucking famo. Gotta come back with some fucking drain. I've been X's and O's, I've been X's and clothes. Long money and bros, superstitions and fucking ghosts.
Superstitions and ghosts, never been one to boast. But I'm spitting fucking flames, it's about time for a roast. Hey, God, Yvng Vadr, killer coast to coast. When the fucking coast clears, y'all begin to fucking show. Face down, watch you float, always keep my blade close. Bitch, I'm back from the dead I arose. Never had a fuck to give in my blacked out clothes. Head down in my face, movie drips like a rose. AK spray on delay, nah bitch on delay. Don't know if it's a waste to pray, but I pray on my fucking pray. Used to feel suicidal, can't say it was back in the day. Cause bitch it's still every day, just know I came to fucking slay. Bitch I'm gripping on my rifle, you need to fight for survival. Never finish the Bible, but I don't pray to no false idols. Look around, don't see no rivals, cause y'all pussies in denial. The different till that recital, freebase wavy fucking title. Face down, watch you fall, always keep my blade close. Bitch I'm back from the dead I arose. Never had a fuck to give in my blacked out clothes. Head down in my face, ruby drips like a rose.
This next track is called Malaria by New Era Hippie. I found this when I was first setting up some underground playlisting through Young Suicide Productions. Definitely check him out. This track's absolute fucking fire.
Fish, nar.
Baby girl, you talking crazy. I don't know if you can save me. Fuck the world and fuck you pay me. I'm not driving no Mercedes. What is driving me so crazy lately? Cause I got no patience, got no license, registration. All I got is people hating. Baby girl, you talking crazy. I don't know if you can save me. Fuck the world and fuck you pay me. I'm not driving no Mercedes. What is driving me so crazy lately? Cause I got no patience, got no license, registration. All I got is people hating. Flexing on the playground, finessing day to day now. I'm trading cars
frauds up in the hall with thoughts I need to catch them all. Playing smart, I'm stupid, y'all, but look who's winning after all. I could start a ruthless ball and lift this up and make you fall. Send you to the shadow realm, you meet my dog in battle. Them Egyptian gods touch when I write the notes I'm spattering. I don't give no fucks, cause I'll run my mouth and back it up. Punch you in your grill, if you got beef I'ma pack it up. Hack you up, stab you up, bitch you know I've had enough. Bad as fuck, wrap you up, in the sheet I'm dumping ya. In the streets I'm bumping ya. Fish nerd beats be thumping ya. Enemies be nothing, my ex called me a clusterfuck. Cause the way I tear it up, there is no way preparing ya. People say I'm bugging out like I might have malaria. I just say I'm thuggish now like I'm sorry I'm scaring ya. Like I ain't scared of nothing cause my story is a scary one. Baby girl, you talking crazy, I don't know if you can save me. Fuck the world and fuck you pay me. I'm not driving no Mercedes. What is driving me so crazy lately? Cause I got no patience, got no license, registration. All I got is people hating. Baby girl, you talking crazy, I don't know if you can save me. Fuck the world and fuck you pay me. I'm not driving no Mercedes. What is driving me so crazy lately? Cause I got no patience, got no license, registration. All I got is people hating. I'm the modern day Anton LaVey. Let me set it straight. All you pussies praising Satan are so motherfucking fake. You ain't got what it will take to face your dreams with your own face. I know one day I will be great. I sold my soul in 7th grade. I ain't got no time for fake friends trying to come around. Lost my fucking mind. If you need me, I'll be underground. Through it all, I'm throwing out, but not the ones who hold me down. No windows, don't know my sound, but I bet they can hear me now.
This next track is called Infinite by Sxmpra. This one is definitely something I listen to almost fucking daily. It gets me into the fucking groove of wanting to fucking record and work on music. Fucking listen to this shit.
I just wanna make some fucking big stacks. Never making it back. Another motherfucker fucking when I get in the track. I'm giving it back to the boys. Let me give it a back. They're giving another to the brothers. Let me back to the back. I'm a young mother in the flow. So but when I get a beat, we jump and no stutter. You don't really know me. I'm a fit a bunch of super when I spit it like a bitch. They was like in the mother. Motherfucker with a tall black tee, long hair in a chair. He don't even really speak, but I really do think it. I really don't see 10 pairs in the eyes. They be looking at me. Look at the one. Sxmpra the master. Never motherfucker and I better spit faster. Get fast. Give it a bit of a time to take, sir. Oh, you want racks, better rub a fucking back, sir. Know my fucking name, homie. Feel it in your brain. Hear the lyrics, stay straight. Chop it up, kill up. Ain't no one afraid. I be aware of my surroundings. Homie, watch what you say. Chop it up, kill up. Ain't no one afraid. I be aware of my surroundings.
Last but not fucking least, Out the Cage, Powurz featuring yours truly. This track is fucking sick. It was the first fucking track of Powurz to fucking hit 1K, and I appreciate you guys running that shit up. Let's fucking get another banger together soon, man. Fucking check this shit out.
Get so mad that I get so sad.
Waste the life away as we go day by day.
No time for safe songs, we need to right our wrongs.
All these fuck boys, I'm ready to shred.
Fuck out my life and fuck out my head.
Fuck a nihilist, I will beat him to the ground.
Teach him some new words, make his life seem profound.
I don't wish no harm. I don't wish no harm. I don't wish no harm. I don't wish no harm.
Even though I'm filled with rage, even though I'm in the cage. Even though I'm filled with rage, even though I'm in the cage. Even though I'm filled with rage, even though I'm in the cage. Even though I'm filled with rage, even though I'm in the cage.
Bitch, you know I'm filled with rage. Now I'm busting out the cage. Carving bones down into blades. Sxmpra pain, bitch, I'm the sage. Revelate, eviscerate, annihilate all 50 states. Like your beings procreate when all you're breeding to is hate. Still them AK-47s inside jobs like 9/11. Suicides try reaching heaven. Resurrected represent. Pass the blood, another session. Why you so passive aggressive? If you got a fucking problem, let me teach your ass a lesson. Get the fuck back. Why you here to play? They are in the trap. Good Powurz all the way. All fuck free base to the motherfucking grave. You ain't coming for your neck. It's a new fucking age. Bitch up on my dick. You ain't worth being saved. You must be this fucking tall to ride this fucking wave. Only smoking on the wax. Packing balls of fucking dick. Lord Steel, this my train. Running mattress, fuck up me.
All right, we're back. Hope you guys enjoyed some of Yvng Vadr's picks. He had mentioned about his promotional service, Young Suicide Productions.
Yeah, so
say something about that.
So, Young Suicide Productions. It was originally, a page that was set up to kind of help promote and push Freebase Records music, and then like the music of people that we worked with. It kind of fucking just kind of grew into something that I wasn't really expecting it to the point to where it's fucking I think it's fucking awesome. It's kind of helped bring this community together. Shout out the 808 playlist, shout out fucking 2020 Sucks playlist, which is ran by Dark Light Click and shit. I really appreciate those guys. I appreciate Cloud Kill and The Mind, you know. And shout out Avant-Garage Studios. Fucking just the support has really helped bring this community together. We offer playlisting, we do promotions, and we do a weekly spotlight where we take artists who have submitted tracks to the playlist throughout the week, and we do a post highlighting those fucking artists for the work that they've put out and that they exceeded with. And then we place those tracks at the top of the playlist for the week, and then you know, as placements come in, we listen to the tracks, and we all kind of go through it and work on to the next one.
So I should have brought this up before we talked about your promotional services, but when was it that you really started to notice that, like, oh shit, I'm getting plays, like?
Fuck. So it's definitely I definitely think probably March or April, I really decided that this is something that I really want to pursue. I came into this year with about 15,000 plays on SoundCloud, total 16,000 maybe, and that was up until like March, like mid to late March, and now I'm almost at 100,000 total, and I'm fucking, to me that's fucking awesome. That's fucking insane. After I had fucking, you know, I'd gone through a lot of shit, dude, and I came back out of a lot of that really dark time in my fucking life, and kind of found music, dude, through the help of fucking Hollow Bones and Kmart Goth and Carmine, aka Powurz, AKA and Yvng Terp and shit, these fucking producers and shit. And yeah, no, it started picking up earlier this year, and I figured, fuck it, dude, why not? This is possible. This is doable, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned some troubles that you've gone through, and I've heard a lot of the crazy stories you've been through. Is there anything that you kind of just want to?
Yeah, no. So I mean,
throw out
like,
there?
I'm like, people that fucking join my lives. I go live almost every day, a few times a day, to smoke and just kind of talk to people that are there and want to talk and shit and check out unreleased music. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm currently going through a divorce and shit, you know. I'm gonna be straight up. Infidelity is fucking terrible, dude. It definitely fucks you up as a person. It definitely broke me down. It led me kind of towards addiction, you know. I mean, I struggled with that shit for a little bit, and that ultimately led to where I kind of the drug addiction and shit led to me attempting to take my life, dude. And yeah, I was in the hospital for about a week, you know, and I met some people there that I thought were better people to have in my life because they were going through similar shit, you know, and that just wasn't necessarily the best decision, you know, at that point. But I made some poor decisions for the following months, you know, and yeah, I think I definitely hit rock bottom. I slept in my car for a little bit, you know, and finally, yeah, it's fucking almost 25. I ended up living, having a move, basically telling my stepdad and my mom, you know, like, hey, I need this help, you know, and moved back in and finally got out of there. But yeah, shit, it was definitely rock fucking bottom, dude, and music has helped me fucking continue forward, dude.
Yeah, and like one of the crazy things, like I love hearing your story, even though like how like tragic it can be. Yeah, but like it's one of those stories that you hear, like, you know, on the big interviews with like the big rock star guys that, you know, they grew up from being poor and whatnot and struggled their whole lives, and they ended up becoming this big sensation. That's kind of how I see you on your come up right now.
I mean, the thing is like when I was younger, like I mean, like obviously, like I mean, fucking shit that I write about in my music and a lot of my earlier shit, dude, is just emotions that I've had from like, dude, like when one thing I've really strived to do is like keep myself in the same house as my son, because my dad wasn't there, you know, and I had a stepdad and shit, but then he was off in Iraq a bunch and he was gone a lot, you know, and it's like, yeah, he was doing something that I feel is noble, but at the same time he was gone, dude, and I was a kid, you know, and shit, I mean, I always had everything that I needed, you know, but it was that was something that definitely was lacking. But yeah, no, I think that a lot of my psychological struggles and shit, dude, came from like being bullied and shit a lot in like middle school. That's why when I came to high school, dude, never be afraid to stand up for yourself, dude. I fucking finally, it was like anybody that got in my face or wanted to fuck with me, I was like, dude, I put up with 3 years of like fucking like the worst bullying you could fucking ever think of, to the point to where it's like you're 11 and 12 and like wanting to kill yourself. Like, to me, that's not okay, dude. That's a child, dude, you know? And it definitely helped me learn that, like, people are going through fucking shit that, like, you could never fucking fathom, you know? You can't even imagine. So you really kind of start taking your own fucking problems and shit into perspective. And, yeah, no, it's... Everybody's dealing with something, dude, so always be willing to fucking at least hear them out or listen, you know? Even if you don't necessarily understand it, or fucking just... give it a shot, you know?
Yeah. And, of course, you know, you got your collective, Freebase Records, and all the homies there.
Oh, yeah.
They got your back for
without
everything.
A doubt. Yeah,
like,
shout out. Freebase to my grave, dude. That's a fucking long... I mean, that's not a super long story, but, fucking, shout out Yvng Terp and Citrus of Scary Scars. I think their collective is Fonked Out Records now. They I had my group Entity, which was me and like Snow the Poltergeist, and for a little bit Powurz, and then he started doing more band stuff. But yeah, no, that was we decided to merge with Freebase Records, and yeah, shit, that was at that point it was fuck, that was the collective, dude. We had Raiden, I had a few other people in there with us, and yeah, eventually fucking we ended up getting like Young Bastard, and we had a pretty solid little fucking setup, dude. And I remember Young Terp and Citrus had wanted to go their own way, you know. And at that point, it was like, okay, well, shit, dude, I'm not gonna break down this little family that everybody's fucking started, you know. Like, shit, dude, I was like, you guys are always welcome back. You guys are family, and I still work with them all the fucking time. But yeah, shit, kind of just took Freebase by the reins from that point on. I mean, we were already kind of co-running that shit. And the people, I'm going to be straight up, having Hollow Bones in Freebase and Snow the Poltergeist and shit there, being very patient with me through my fucking struggles and shit, dude. Very patient. I went through a lot of times where I was super motivated and then I was just like gone, you know. And now that it's like I'm finally ready to hit the ground running, knowing that they're there almost 2 fucking years later, still having my fucking back, like ready to fucking take on the world. To me, it means the fucking world, dude. And now having fucking Bobby and Carmine and fucking Kmart Goth and fucking Yvng Vadr and Honey Jack Smooth and Tenjun and shit, it's a family, dude. And all of our supporting artists, fucking Young Yen and 8K and fucking Igor Mortis and fucking all of them, dude. They're just fucking bunch of fucking awesome fucking people.
Who came up with the name Freebase?
Young Terp and Citrus, I believe it was. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh, that's clever as fuck, dude. I was like, that's really clever. Yeah, it's free and then BASS, like bass. I was like, that's really fucking sick.
Bass is a music thing.
Yeah, bass is a music thing. Yeah, dude. But it was the play on word for freebasing and it was clever, dude. It was these kids in high school, and I remember they told me one day that they got in trouble because they played my music through the speakers at their high school.
That's awesome.
And kids were fucking with it, and I was like, that's fucking insane that these kids are so dedicated to this music that they're making, and that like it's like at that age that they're willing to fucking like to step out and do that shit. And they put up with a lot of my bullshit and then me falling through on a lot of shit, dude. But yeah, they came up with that shit. This is Freebase Records is not something that I started. I started Entity and we merged with Freebase Records, but it's definitely it's my family, and it has been and it will continue to be from this point on.
So Freebase is going pretty strong right now. Very solid lineup of very talented artists. How do you see the future for Freebase?
Bright as fuck, dude. Super fucking bright. I honestly think one of the few things that's holding us back right now is all the COVID stuff, you know, with not being able to go and perform shows. I do think that right there is something that's going to kind of set us apart or show people that we're serious, you know, being able to go and actually perform at venues instead of having to kind of finesse around to fucking throw a show. Like our show on the 7th was supposed to be in a skate park, and it rained that day, so they locked the gates, and so we had to throw it in the middle of the parking lot, dude. And people still showed up even though it was cold and had rained. And yeah, no, it's this underground fucking movement, dude, is definitely fucking sick, dude. The community's strong as fuck, and I do feel like Freebase has the potential to be one of the fucking like pillars of holding this shit up and carrying up to the next level, dude. A lot of young fucking talent and some older fucking talent, people who have been there and done that and fucking gone through the shit that, you know what I mean. We have a lot of fucking parents, we have a lot of fucking, you know, a lot of people that have families and shit in Freebase, and a lot of people that are just fucking getting started with life, dude. So it's kind of everybody's kind of at their own point, but everybody's kind of on the same page as far as like everybody's in this family mentality, and it's not just for one of us. Like everybody's taking this on together, you know. It's great.
Exactly.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing you're working on.
I appreciate it, dude, and I'm glad you're part of it, dude. To me,
I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's about time, dude.
What is next for Yvng Vadr?
So I have a project dropping at the end of the year. Fuck, dude, one thing I haven't even talked about yet is Watch Your Six, dude. It's my duo with Hollow Bones. We have a project with Sxmpra dropping on, and Sxmpra and fucking Burnout. We just dropped the single Burnout, and our other single Run the Streets, and then we're gonna try to get Bobby Jr. on another track for that project. That's gonna drop early this next year. What I was getting at is I have an 8-track project coming out at the end of this year, featuring Honey Jack and Yvng Vadr on a track. I got Snow on a track. I got fucking Burnout MacGyver on a track, and I got Dead God on a track. and I've just been cranking out music. I did a poll today in my story to see if people wanted me to continue just to drop music, even though I kind of have my 8-song project done. But should I continue to drop music? You know, it's because I feel like I'm in the groove to continue. You know, I feel like I'm mentally there. You know, I feel like I have a little bit of momentum. It's fun, dude. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot in store. 2020 was fucking, amidst all the fucking crazy shit that happened, dude, it's definitely had its bright sides, you know, and it's nice that the music is fucking here, and I'm glad to be a part of all this shit.
Definitely. Well, I think that's all I've got for you today. It's a pleasure having you on the show, my first official guest.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, and I hope to be back more.
Yeah, and just before we take off, do you got any advice for your fans?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this. Definitely fucking like we were talking about earlier. It doesn't matter what your equipment is. Doesn't matter fucking what your family support is like. I know that I've got a couple buddies that I talk to in my lives frequently who are struggling with people at home and shit, dude. And yeah, fucking just don't let that shit demotivate you and put you down. You know, follow what you fucking enjoy doing. You know, as long as it's not self-destructive. You know, but follow it, like pursue it. My family, you know, is they say they support my music, you know, and shit, but I mean, I know that they don't really listen to it, you know, and to me it's having my couple handfuls of friends that are there and consistently have supported has definitely kept me going, dude. Don't let fucking people and people's opinions and shit and a slow start keep you from fucking pursuing what you enjoy, and don't let lack of equipment keep you from pursuing it. And definitely, dude, my last point is if you're ever in a dark fucking place, you know, there's always a fucking light at the end of the tunnel, you know. Don't let that shit consume you. It's sometimes it fucking feels like it's going to fucking consume you, you know, and there's nowhere really else to go. But yeah, no, definitely, you guys can fucking reach out to me. My DMs are always open. I am a father and I do work, so I mean, it might be a little slow to respond, but yeah, no, I'm fucking there because I've been there and I've fucking been through that shit. So yeah, no, I appreciate everybody fucking tuning in, and again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
I just wanted to add on that one thing too. One of the beautiful things about our little scene that we have going on is, you know, rap's typically a cutthroat game.
Oh yeah,
guys don't like each other, they don't want to fucking help each other out or whatever.
No, and I see it a lot.
Everyone that we work with and talk to is very supportive, and we all just want to help each other grow. And
yeah, I have people that I've openly had issues with, like publicly had issues with, that have reached out, you know, and yeah, shout out Downwolf, dude. Fucking, I appreciate that he's reached out, you know, when I've been struggling, dude. Bobby Jr. too. I mean, I had just met him at the show I performed on the 14th. And no, I performed the 14th.
Oh yeah,
the following
right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
and he had helped me when I was living in my car, dude. Just like help me with money to like get gas and shit. He had helped me, dude. He barely even fucking knew me, but like we had been in group chats together, and yeah, no, it's definitely people that are just good fucking people, dude. That are it's fucking awesome. It's a strong community, and it's a fucking family, dude, through and through.
All right. You heard it from the man himself, Yvng Vadr. Check him out on all platforms. This has been the Avant-Garage Show, and we plan to have you back soon.
Oh yeah, I look forward to it. Thank you.
All right, have a nice day, everyone.
Have a good one.
thinking about how we were all raised. Thinking about, I'm thinking about where we're wrong. Okay, listen, I'm normally a reasonable guy. Listen, okay, you look at me, people trust me. Okay, I'm not that kind of person. But you want to see what ordinary hands can do to something fragile? Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Never felt raised so pure, so clean, so right. I disgust myself. Yeah, that's right. I know I've done something bad. I know this is the end of the line. I know what's in the trunk is reason enough to end my life. I know. What can I do? I keep driving round and round, round and round. Can't turn back time. Can't turn back time.